Growing roses in a cold Zone 5 climate can be really tricky. This is the Front Range Gardener, and I'm going to share my month-to-month guide for rose success. The rose growing calendar here in Colorado goes from March through October. The successful rose grower will have 2 flushes of rose blooms, usually in June, then again in August. This past winter was really hard on my roses. Zone 5 is already a marginal climate for roses, and the severe cold snaps really took their toll. Most of these canes are dead. You can tell by the dark color. The dead canes are also brittle. These all need to be pruned out. It's hard to prune in March because it's difficult to see where the live parts of the canes begin. Wait until the growth buds appear. In Colorado, that is early April. Cut the cane above a growth bud. For now, remove any mulch that you piled over the crown to insulate from cold. This will help you see new canes growing and prevent mold and mildew from rotting the crown. Wait until April to prune and apply your first fertilizer of the year. April is the time to prune roses in USDA Hardiness Zone 5, like here in the Colorado Front Range. This past winter was really hard on my roses. Most of the lengths of these canes are dead. Dead canes must be removed. In April, the growth buds on roses start to appear. These are on the live part of the cane. Cut the cane about 1/4 inch above a growth bud. That is going to leave very little left on my roses. Even if none of the canes are alive, the rose may still send up new canes from the crown. This is also the time of year to work a granular, slow-release fertilizer into the soil. I use one with a systemic pesticide. I won't use systemic again unless there is an aphid infestation. Water the fertilizer into the soil. You should start to see spring growth by the end of April. May is a big month for rose enthusiasts in cold climates like my home in Colorado. Warm temperatures and bright sun encourage furious growth. This kind of growth requires lots of nutrients. Nitrogen is the macronutrient most responsible for green growth. I like to apply a water-soluble fertilizer as often as once a week. May is also a time to protect your roses from pests. In my garden, deer, rabbits, and small rodents create mayhem. Physical barriers like this rabbit fence work best for me. Sprays and electronic devices don't work very well, but I still use this one because, well, I already paid for it. Insects can cause lots of damage. Aphids are especially damaging to tender shoots. I applied a granular fertilizer with a systemic pesticide last month to control aphids. Organic gardeners can use oils or insecticidal soaps. These essentially suffocate insects on contact, leaving no toxic residue. Encourage growth and protect from pests in May, and your roses will reward you with spectacular blossoms in June. June brings the payoff for rose gardeners in cold climates. This is the first bloom cycle in my Colorado Zone 5 garden. You may enjoy your rose blossoms on the bush or bring them inside. Either way, proper pruning in June is essential to set up your second bloom in August. Your rosebush wants to expend energy and nutrients to go to seed. By deadheading spent blossoms, the rosebush directs that energy into new buds. I've heard of 2 rules of thumb for pruning. One is to cut back to the first leaf cluster with 5 leaves. The second is to cut where the cane is at least as thick as a pencil. I've done both. I think the 5-leaf method can leave a cane that is too spindly and weak. These are better removed. However, not all viable canes are as thick as a pencil. Use these rules as guidelines. Make your pruning cut above a leaf cluster at a 45-degree angle. Continue to fertilize to feed the new growth that will develop your August rosebuds. July is the month that the Front Range Rose Gardener presents a buffet of tasty petals to our scourge, the Japanese beetle. Let me share 3 ways that I try to minimize the damage in my rose garden. The first way is simple. Manually pick the little buggers and squash them. The second way I like to kill beetles is with a Japanese beetle trap like this one from Spectricide. It uses pheromones to attract beetles, who then fall into the bag and perish. I love the fact that this trap contains no toxic chemicals, so no other insects are affected. If a beetle infestation gets too bad, I use an insecticidal powder. This 7 powder does a good job, but it kills insects indiscriminately. Use it as a last resort. A little Japanese beetle carnage will shut down the beetle buffet. The growing season for roses in USDA Hardiness Zone 5 is just so short. Here in Colorado, we are able to get about 2 bloom cycles, around June and again in August. It's August now, and it's hard to believe that we are likely to get our first frost in 5 to 7 weeks. Rose bushes need to harden up for the winter ahead. Gardeners need to stop any activities that encourage tender new growth. Stop fertilizing roses. Stop pruning. Stop deadheading. Let the flowers form rose hips. In short, leave your roses alone so that they can harden naturally for the winter ahead. September is a transition month for the cold climate rose gardener. Early in the month, we may still enjoy our second flush of blossoms of the year. By the end of the month, we may have our first frost. Rose care this month involves preparing our bushes for the cold of winter. Stop deadheading the roses and let them go to hips. Stop any activities that encourage growth. That means no pruning and no fertilizer. Continue to keep your bushes watered, and in October, we'll make our final preparations for winter. Winter is hard on roses in a cold climate like here in Colorado. I'll give you 2 do's and 1 don't to help your roses survive the winter. Number 1, do continue to water. After turning off your irrigation, there will still be mild days. If there has been no natural precipitation, you need to water your roses by hand. In October and November, plan to water weekly. Switch to bi-weekly in December. Water on a sunny day with a temperature above 40 degrees. Don't water if there is snow on the ground. Do number 2, insulate roses with mulch. As long as you keep the crown alive, your rose bushes can send up new canes. You can insulate the crown with mulch. This is particularly important with tender young plantings. And the 1 don't prune your roses in fall. Frost damages canes from the tip. If you prune, your bush is more susceptible to frost damage. Wait until April to prune. At that time, you will be able to see frost damage and cut it out. Winter is hard on roses, but you can help them with these tips. If you want to know how I planted my roses, watch my video, Planting Roses in Zone 5. Roses need a little extra care here, but the reward is happy rose gardening.